and power unto you. Listen, I want my friends to know that I appreciate you. I really do. If you come here and if you are very supportive, and when you come to this particular space, I appreciate you. And you really need to know that it's early in the morning where I'm located at. I am just here to give words of encouragement and words that can move my friends, okay, to know that if you know that the inner work that you have done, and I got to say this real slow because the message is about move in divine grace. I want to share this message with my friends, and I want to give you a part of my own life, personal life, and this is going to help somebody. This is a message that God wants me to share with you, friends. I just want to say this much. When you know that God have blessed you, and God have did the things that you asked for God to do through prayers, okay? And personally, God have done some miracles in your life. And when I say miracles, only those things that God can do. Could nobody else do it but God. But then you get bumps in the road. When I say bumps, meaning that things begin to come up to challenge you, friend. And then you begin to feel as if you forgot the same grace and mercy that God laid upon your life, that God bless you with. It's a divine force that moves with us. God that woke us up this morning. This is this day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it. Each time you get another day to live, it's a good thing to give God some thanksgiving and praises. But on this divine grace that you move in, or that you should be moving in, and you should keep very close with you. Because from my own life experience, I had an experience to whereby I was tried and I was tempted to get out of the grace. I was tempted to walk in that spirit of anger, in the spirit of unforgiveness, in the spirit of frustration. Oh God, come on, let this word help somebody. Then it was nothing but the Holy Spirit that reminded me, grabbed me so closely to allow me to know you can't go back that way. Because that way, okay, or these ways, it will injure you. So what I'm saying, friends, is that no matter what come up against you, it could be your family, it could be your husband, it could be your children, it could be your nieces and nephews. I'm just making examples. It could be friends. It could be somebody that hurt you recently. It could be something that you can't let go. But divine grace moves differently. Divine grace have that grace and mercy that only God can give it to you. So therefore, you have to be in this world, but not of it. Meaning your choices and your decisions and the way that you're deciding to move and the way that you know that, listen, even if you wanted to be upset and to be angry and to not forgive, you know that you can't do it because God created you to be something completely different. See, when you are in the power of moving in grace, your manifestations and your prayers, what you're trying to get answered, you want to stay in that right alignment. Many won't tell you this because so many individuals is seeking the kingdom, okay, of this earthly realm without even staying in right alignment with God. How do that work? I don't know. I just know that as being a vessel and having this light turned on, that light that come from this divine force that woke me up this morning, from the God that created all things that we trying to manifest, run after of. You put a name on it, whatever it may be that you're trying to inquire. Could be a raise on your job, okay? It could be peace. It could be light and joy. The only way that you can obtain that unless you walk in that grace. And that grace do not come and it is not attached to the ego. Ego can't do anything for you no other than ride on and be creative in the flesh. This fleshly body is only good by housing your spirit. That's it. Because you are the only one, okay, that can walk around, okay, with the right alignment. No one can do this inner work for you. You have to do it for yourself, and it get better. It get better because the more deeper you go, the more and more you realize that, listen, you was walking around and you hadn't released some things. When those things begin to fall off from on you, it's going to fall off with names. It's going to fall off with those areas that you stayed too long in. And then you're going to begin to see your whole circle of not only just friendship, okay, begin to look different. And not that you're holding anything against the friendship of the individuals that you know, but you're going to see the things that divine grace and mercy, okay, how it kept you and how really it didn't even have to, give you no grace and mercy to be forgiven, but it kept you, it blessed you, it formed miracles, it healed you, okay? It did some things that you couldn't even do. So, friend, move in that divine grace. Don't stay stuck in them traps and everything. You're talking or you're listening. Let me say this much. If you're talking in the chat with your hands, you're talking, with your words and good morning. Friends, I just want to say this much, good morning. But what I'm trying to get to stay on this particular subject, what I'm saying, divine grace don't have nothing to do with our will. It's all about God. It's all about the Creator. It's all about who you say that woke you up this morning. It's all about what you're trying to navigate and get in this particular life. You can't do nothing without God. Nothing. You may try to go and do certain things, and you may make yourself feel as if you obtain anything, but really, God, grace, and mercy fall on anybody. You don't have to even truly be in right alignment, but it get better when you're in right alignment because he reign on the just as well as the unjust. All because, God understand the power. We're just temporarily living in this shell body that you live in and that I live in. It's a spirit in you. And whatever spirit that you are traveling with, one day it'll begin to identify and it'll begin to talk to you. It'll begin to minister to you, okay? It'll begin to allow you to lay hands on your own self. You seeking and you searching for individuals and for answers for healing, even when you go sit on the chair of the counselor, the only thing they can do is give you the information. It's up to you to know what you need to do with it. They're just individuals that have chosen, okay, a particular life and a journey because they know that they got work to do within them to help those individuals, okay, that is assigned to them. So when you're looking at that divine grace, no matter how you try to see it and things in a different light, divine grace don't have nothing to do with our will. It's all freely given in abundant ways by God. So now, when you manifest, think of the manifestation of the power of God. And basically how you just got to be free in this life. What I mean about being free. Free to worry about, you free enough to worry about nothing is attached to you to worry about it'll hinder your blessings. What hinder blessings? Unforgiveness, okay? That strongly hinder blessings, okay? Walking in, the spirit of possibly the ego, not releasing. But unforgiveness is one of them, and not knowing how to walk in love. That love status, that agape love, is completely different from the way that we see things. My eyes used to look at things from the flesh. If this person did this to me or said this to me, if this person injured me mentally, okay, that pierced through me spiritually and everything, I took offense of that and I took it personally. But now that I tapped in and I got tuned in and turned on to the leading and the directing of God, I look at things different. See, it's not about me personally. It's about my journey. It's about the things that I came here to do. It's about the walk, and the same for you, friends. It don't take things so personally to worry about. It keep you caught up and trapped up for years. Because see, when you allow something to control you, then you got to ask yourself, and you have to reposition yourself. What is my divine purpose? And what is the divine grace that is upon my life that I know that God have given me? Oh God, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Friends, I just want you to say this much. Be a blessing to your own soul. Stop reaching and stop looking who need to pour into you. There's a lot of individuals that can pour into you, but it begins with you. I'm just a vessel. I just come along in this YouTube space, talk about peace, light, and love, talk about the power to forgive, definitely the power of prayer. I can't even, to me, that's breath for me, meaning that I can't live without it because it brings strong correction. But at the same token, I have to be reminded. I'm in this human flesh to where about sometimes, it get to acting up. And what do I mean about acting up? It responds to my surroundings, to the things that may be happening, and then gently, when I get a time enough to breathe, then I'm able to say, okay, let me move this way. Because if I move this way of this flesh, I'm gonna mess some things up. It's not going to be right. And then it's going to delay the things that I know that is promised to me. Oh God, I thank you. Oh God, I thank you. My friend says, how do we find our divine path? You define your divine path by surrendering only if you believe that it's another higher power than you. You take yourself out of the equation of your ego and you allow God to enter in. That just takes you and your mouth to ask God to come into your life, to ask God to do something different than the way that you was doing it. God will have helpers in your journey, and God will also, put you in a different space now to look at things differently. But you first got to require the Most High to come into your life. The Most High is already in your life. You got to turn it on. And then you seek out. And then you go into those spaces to whereby God may lead you in such a positive way. Because sometimes we think that we're on the right journey divinely, and I'm saying spiritually. And then we get this life awakening to whereby we realize I was doing this thing wrong. I'm sitting around here talking about, God and how good God is, singing, praising, clapping, calling on the name, whatever the name may be. But for the most part, just calling on Jesus, and then realize that you still got a lot of junk in you. Not you, friend, but I'm just talking from life experience. Haven't even made it to those particular areas to really even to be a blessing to somebody. See, when you got that divine armor on, when you put on the full armor of God, just like in that Ephesians 6, what it states, got it right here, put on the full armor of God. And when you put on that full armor of God and everything, it says you're going to become basically a new individual. The full armor is created for you. And it's created for you because then, it's measures in this walk, in this particular life. Once again, we just living in the body with the spirit. And the spirit can go two different ways. It can go the way of our flesh, of the way of God, divine leading and things. But in this realm that we're in this earthly realm, it comes with accountability. Once again, everybody got a different way of how they find their divine path. It's already living in you. If you take some quiet time, and if you speak and if you talk, about your life to the Most High that woke you up this morning, and if you got you an old school composition book, or you can have some, how can I say, just plain paper, anything. If you got to write it on some tissue, God will begin to speak to you and to talk to you. But this is only for the individuals that believe that it's something higher than them that woke them up this morning. I can't convince anyone that there is a God. I just know I'm living in that divine force and this divine energy. I'm not even going to try to act like that I'm not. I know that there's something higher, okay, that allow sun hasn't risen, but it allowed the stars and all of the planets, to be what it need to be. It give growth to the plants. Because even if I tried to plant a seed in the ground or in the bedding to have whatever plant that I want to grow, it ain't me growing it. So it's something else that's moving it. And then when it grow up, and then when it become what I want it to become because I brought that particular plant, it's something that gave it growth, that movement. I was just the one that was watching it and that was tending to it. Just like we have to tend to our own life, our spiritual journey, our spiritual path. We have to tend to it. And when you need help, those divine helpers are always available to assist and help. Oh God, I thank you. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the space, the whereby I will constantly come here with messages, talk, possibly share from my own personal life. I just feel completely what you call good and different. Glad that God is allowing me to be in a new space. It was well worth the wait, well worth going through anything that I had to go through in order to get here. Because now I can talk from volumes of lessons in life. Not that everything was good, but I can talk the whereabout. I know I can bless somebody else if they got ears to hear. Not about, speaking and talking as if that I haven't traveled this journey and I didn't have to reposition myself to forgive the things that I didn't even want to forgive. Oh boy, did things hurt. And when I say, oh boy, this is just a figure of speech. But did things hurt? Yes, absolutely it did. It really did. Did I have to release those things? Absolutely. Why? Because greater, okay, is the Most High that is in me than I can ever understand. So when you realize that that right alignment comes with you moving in that grace and in the same mercy that the Most High gave to you, you can't look at life no other different way. This too shall pass. You don't have to take vengeance in your hand and try to compare how you're going to get this individual back. And you don't have to watch and wait to look to see what God going to do to that individual. You're wasting too much time and energy if you're trying to see what God is going to do to an individual who may have offended you. Be at peace with yourself. Learn to live with that grace and the same love that God gave you. Because when you on this type of status and standard, oh yeah, there's a status and standard that come with you. The Holy Ghost, it drip differently from off of you. Meaning that you will make individuals question the light that live in them. Okay? You'll make them question even the leadership that they say that they're in leadership with and the God that they pray to if they don't know how to forgive. You will make individuals now really separate from you because guess what? They don't have that glory and grace in them. They may think they do, but it's different. When that anointing just drip differently, you can drop some wisdom. You can drop real life down. And you can, talk to individuals who may need to understand how to release and let go. It don't come with a pretending matter. It come with all power and divine that flows, okay, how it need to flow. One thing I do know, it don't operate in confusion, and it don't operate with saying, I'm not going to let them, be forgiven. That's God power. You move differently. Friends, I got to go. And when I say go, it's my time, it's my exit to go and to make sure that the starting of my particular day, which is already here, that I tap into that. Hope everyone enjoyed this particular message and things. Share it with somebody. Possibly could bless somebody that don't even understand that divine grace, it moved differently, completely. I want to close my friends out with some positive words and things. And I just want to say this much. God, whoever may need this message, let it be a blessing unto their ears. Let them be clear, with full clarity, to know, God, that you are the one that forgives and that release and let go. Let them know, God, that you don't move how the flesh move. Let them understand, God, that your grace and mercy got more power and more blessings in it than what our own flesh can do for our life. Let them understand the power of manifestation, how suddenly blessings can come into their life, all by keeping that light turned on, knowing that, God, that you are everything. You are the one that keep the bank account full, even when nothing is in it in this earthly realm. But spiritually, you say that you got everything. God, let them understand as well that anytime that they need answers, let them tap into you. Destiny helpers are already available to help you. Oh, God, I thank you. Go in peace, friends, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Peace, light, and love to everyone. Have a blessed day.